A man of unimaginable strength, yet crippled by his own desires. A warrior who could slay 1,000 enemies, yet fell victim to a single betrayal. This is the paradox of Samson, a man chosen by God, tested by temptation, and ultimately redeemed through sacrifice. His story is one of the most gripping in the Bible, filled with divine miracles, human weakness, and a dramatic climax that changed history. But beyond the legends of his superhuman feats lies a deeper lesson about power, purpose, and the cost of disobedience. Today, we unravel the full story of Samson, from his miraculous birth to his tragic downfall and final redemption. What can we learn from his triumphs and failures? And how does his life mirror our own struggles with temptation and faith? Stay with us as we journey through Judges 13 to 16 and uncover the timeless truths hidden in this epic tale. Welcome to the Bible Narrative, where we explore the most compelling stories of the Bible, not just as ancient texts, but as living lessons that speak to us today. Samson's story is more than just a legend of strength. It's a cautionary tale of wasted potential, the dangers of pride, and the relentless grace of God. Born under a divine promise, Samson was destined to liberate Israel from the Philistines, yet his personal weaknesses nearly derailed his mission. How did a man blessed with such power end up blind and enslaved? And how did his greatest failure become his ultimate victory? The story begins in Zorah, a small town in ancient Israel, where the people were oppressed by the Philistines, a powerful and ruthless enemy. For 40 years, Israel suffered under their rule, until God prepared an unlikely deliverer. Manoah's wife was barren, a deep sorrow in a culture where children were seen as God's blessing. But one day, an angel appeared with an astonishing message. You will conceive and give birth to a son. He will take the lead in delivering Israel from the hands of the Philistines. This child, Samson, was to be a Nazirite, a person set apart for God under a strict vow. No wine or strong drink, no contact with dead bodies, and no cutting of his hair. This was no ordinary calling. From birth, Samson was marked by God for a holy mission. But here's the question. Did Samson truly understand his purpose? Or did he see his strength as a gift for personal glory rather than divine service? As Samson grew, so did his supernatural strength, but also his recklessness. His first recorded feat? Killing a lion with his bare hands. Imagine the shock of those who heard this story. A single man tearing apart a beast that could slaughter an entire village. But this was only the beginning. When the Philistines manipulated his bride at his wedding feast, Samson took revenge by burning their fields with 300 foxes tied with torches. Later, when they came to arrest him, he slew 1,000 men with nothing but a donkey's jawbone. Yet, despite these victories, Samson's weakness for women would soon become his undoing. Samson's greatest enemy wasn't the Philistines. It was his own heart. He fell for Delilah, a woman whose name means delicate, but whose actions were anything but. The Philistine rulers bribed her with a fortune to discover the secret of his strength. 3 times, Samson lied to her. Bind me with 7 fresh bowstrings. He broke free. Tie me with new ropes. He snapped them. Weave my hair into a loom. He pulled it apart. But Delilah wore him down, day after day, nagging, pleading, manipulating. Finally, he confessed. If my head was shaved, my strength would leave me. That night, as he slept, she cut his hair, the symbol of his vow. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and forced him into humiliating slavery, grinding grain like an animal. The strongest man in the world had been brought low by his own desires. Blind, broken, and mocked by his enemies, Samson was paraded in the temple of Dagon, the Philistine god, as a trophy of their victory. But in his darkest moment, something unexpected happened. His hair began to grow back. The Philistines didn't realize it, but God wasn't finished with Samson yet. As they laughed and celebrated, Samson prayed one last time. Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more. Then, with a final surge of divine power, he pushed the temple pillars, collapsing the entire structure. He died that day, but so did more Philistine leaders than he had ever killed in his life. In death, he fulfilled his mission. Samson's story is both tragic and triumphant. He was gifted by God, yet squandered his potential. He was physically strong, but morally weak. A flawed hero, yet still used by God. What can we learn? Strength without discipline leads to downfall. God's purpose prevails, even through our failures. Redemption is always possible, even at the last moment. Samson is listed in Hebrews 11's Hall of Faith, not because he was perfect, but because in the end, he turned back to God. If this deep dive into Samson's life resonated with you, like and subscribe for more biblical character studies. Comment below, what's the biggest lesson you take from Samson's story? Share with someone who needs to hear about strength, weakness, and redemption. Thank you for watching. Remember, even in our weakest moments, God can still write a victorious ending.